I don't know whether you're having problems with your children, but if you are, here's a suggestion. There's a program on the radio called Childhood Matters. And it's Sunday nights, KISS FM, and the host of that show, Rona Renner, is back with us once again. Rona, nice to see you.
Very nice to see you. Sunday mornings, actually.
Yeah. What did I say?
Sunday night.
Well, I meant morning. Morning, night.
Morning, night. That's right. When you have kids, you get it all mixed up.
Sunday morning, right. And people call in and they have the problems with their children. And what kind of questions do you get usually?
You know, we get so many questions about setting limits. How do I get my child to stop having tantrums? You know, what do I do with my teenager who's not coming home when she's supposed to come? How do I find a good doctor? And when do I really have to have my children brush their teeth?
Okay, now you get all these questions. You have a background as a nurse and educator. You have a broad background. But even you run into a situation where you have to say, geez, I don't really know, don't you?
Well, you know, every week I bring on an expert. So I'm there to answer questions, but I also have someone in the community who's a real expert on the subject.
A dentist comes on,
a dentist comes on, a pediatrician, a psychologist. So together we have a conversation. And one of the things we encourage is for parents to call in with their knowledge. Because it turns out parents don't get asked a lot about what they know. There's a lot of wisdom you have after you raise a few children.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's
well,
right.
Actually, it's a process that never ends.
Never ends.
Learning about your children never ends.
That's right.
I can raise my hand and say, I know that happens to be true.
And, you know, we even talked last week, we talked about how the way we raise our children is really also based a lot on how we were raised, and that we have to keep that in mind. Sometimes we overreact because we don't want to be like our parents. And other times you hear yourself say something and you go, wow, that's just what my mother used to say to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, that happens to be true. You know, that is very true. You know, we talk about teaching our children things. What we're teaching them is we're teaching them by, they're watching us and seeing our behavior. No matter what we say, they're watching our behavior. They know what we're doing, and we are passing on good or bad information to them.
I remember on a show I did about yelling less. And I told people that, you know, one day I remember yelling to my daughter, Karina, stop yelling. And I stopped for a minute and I thought, wow, of course she's learning from me. And I think when parents realize that, they feel humble, and they also realize that that's where they have to turn the TV off. That's where they need to eat healthy. That's where they need to maybe curse less when they're cut off on the road. Because kids learn by what we do more than by what we say.
Yeah. How did you learn? Did you hear yourself one time, or did you hear your daughter or somebody repeat something you said and you went, that's not right?
Well, you know,
how did that work for you?
I realized that I wanted to be a good parent, and that I wanted to not always do the same things my parents did. You know, nice people, but I think they made some mistakes, and I didn't want to repeat them. So I decided just to try and pay attention to myself, to observe what I do and not be too hard on myself. So if I heard myself doing something wrong, I had to, you know, be kind and realize I'm going to try it differently the next time. And also a lot of feedback, I think, from a partner, a husband, a friend, honest feedback. You know, we don't talk about parenting enough. Can you think about the last time, especially men, did you have a conversation with another guy about what it's like being a dad? It doesn't happen often.
It happens with me a lot, frankly, because I have a lot of kids.
You have a lot of kids, and you have good friends.
You know, right, exactly. But you're right, though. In general, people don't go out and say, you should see what my 2-year-old did, or something.
Right. And
the same way that women do.
The way the show is that I want every week to remind people about their values, about what kids need, sort of that social and emotional needs. We're so focused on our culture around academics that we also forget about what kids need.
They need to be kids. Let's remind them of that. Rona Renner has been our guest. She is host of Childhood Matters radio show. It's on Sunday mornings on KISS FM. Is it 9 to 10?
9 to 10.
9 to 10 in the morning. Nice to see you, Rona.
So great to see you.
And we can talk about kids anytime. Thanks for watching Comcast Local Edition.
Thank you.